Hello, fellow Darklings, Goths, and alternative people. My name is Mysterious Melantha, and I'm going to be doing a video about Gothic DIY. Hopefully, I can give you some new ideas or inspire you to do something similar. I really hope that you like some of these ideas, and I can be of help to anyone who's looking for some creative inspiration, or maybe you don't have enough money to buy more expensive, like, goth sort of clothes from the bigger name brands, if that's what you're into. That's not really what goth is about. It's not about the clothes, it's about the music and the mindset and the experience. And DIY was a huge part of the early goth subculture in the 80s and 90s. So I like to continue on the spirit of DIY and stay creative. And I hope that you can do that too. So, without any further ado, let's get into some of these ideas. So first I'm going to be talking about band jackets. DIY music jackets with patches all over them. I'm sure you've seen punks or metalheads or goths that have these sort of jackets or vests. So here's my example. I have three of these. I have two jackets and one vest. This is my favorite one. This is the most recent one I've made. I still have to do a little bit of work on the back, but as you can see, I've sewn all of these patches onto the front, and I also added things like studs, embellishments, and pins, lots of band pins. So you can see, this is one that I made. It was from an old t-shirt that I ripped, or that didn't really work out, so I cut it off. It's a raven that I drew with a fabric marker onto a t-shirt, and I sewed it on here because I thought it looked nicer on here. And then I got some patches from a store called Nuclear Waste Underground. So I have Cocteau Twins and Clan of Zymox right here, London After Midnight, Depeche Mode, and then some of these I made myself. I made The Last Dance and The Cure with some material and fabric paint that I had. And then I got this Frozen Autumn one from Nuclear Waste Underground. And She Passed Away was from Nuclear Waste as well. And then I painted on this spider web here with some fabric paint, which you can get for a couple of bucks at pretty much any craft store. And then on the sleeves, around the cuffs here, I wanted it to look similar to a studded bracelet because it's hard to wear those with this jacket because it covers it up. So I sewed all of these spikes around the cuff of it on both sides. Sorry, I'm trying to get this here. Okay. And then I have a lot of like pins. So I found, I don't know where I got this moon one. I think I got it secondhand somewhere. And then this spider one I found at a craft store. And then I have one of the Munsters because I really like that show, and I think it's a good early gothic type of show. And then we have Alucard from Castlevania. And then I put some more studs on this pocket. I have some purple ones too. I had some of those left over from a while ago. That's my favorite color, if you haven't noticed. I have a lot of black and purple on here, and a lot of the projects I'm going to be showing you are mostly black and purple. So, and another thing, so it doesn't really matter like how you sew them on. I did mine like this just because I like how this looks. I can do another video showing you how to do different sewing techniques for patches, but it's really quite simple. I mean, you can do it like how it is here, or you can just sew them on like you normally would, so you can't see the thread. And then some of them you can iron on. Like this one was an iron-on one, but I think I sewed it on instead because I've had them fall off before. So it's up to you if you just want to iron it on or if you want to sew it on so that you can make sure that it stays. And then these pockets here, I sewed on some fabric I had lying around. It's a spiderweb fabric. I didn't have much of it left and I wanted to use it for something. And then on the sides here that are just purple like that, they are fabric painted. And then the top I added some more pins and some more different fabric that I had. And then I also added these studs on right here. And then on the top here, I had these, I'm pretty sure I ironed them on. I forgot what they're called, but they're kind of like patches. And then on the back, I need to do some more work on this. I'm not quite finished with it. But I made this patch. It's a Linea Aspera one. And then she passed away right here. I think I also got this from Nuclear Waste Underground. This was already on the jacket when I got it, but it fits really well with the rest of the theme. And then another thing, the last thing I forgot to talk about with these jackets is safety pins. That is a common thing you see on these. You can either use them to hold things onto your jacket, or you could just use them for decoration. Like, I kind of did that here. I like to put them into like an X, so I don't know, I just like how that looks. But yeah, these are very customizable and you can do so much with them, so many different types of things. And you can pick whatever bands that you like. You don't have to do the same ones as another person might have on their jacket. Just customize it to your musical taste. And then I have this one. This is my vest. I actually thrifted the vest and it had all these studs on it already, which was really cool. So anyway, same kind of idea here. It's just got all these sewn on patches, fabric paint. Anywhere that there's just this purple here is somewhere where I painted it. And I painted on the spider web. And then there's more pins on it too, and more safety pins. And then here's a patch that I sewed on. I sewed it on the pocket to give it a little more detail. And then on the sides here, so this jacket was actually a little bit too big for me around the sides. So I pulled it in like this so that the fabric goes on the inside, and I just safety pinned the side to secure it, and I sewed it together to secure it, and that worked out pretty well. And then on the back, I have more patches, and then this big patch of Edward Scissorhands was from a t-shirt. Tried to DIY it, and I ended up screwing it up, so I cut the patch on the back off because I thought the artwork was so nice. And then I have the South Park Goth kids on the bottom just because I think they're hilarious and they match the theme. So yeah, that's that one. And then my last one is a more metal and industrial themed jacket. I also thrifted this one This was the first one that I made, and it's probably my least favorite. I want to do another metal jacket that's more updated to my musical tastes now. This is like one from like 5 or 6 years ago. And it's, again, the same sort of idea. I did some fabric on these pockets here, sewed that on, and then I sewed a band patch over it. I made this one. It's one of the Dutch Stars logos. There's a Cradle of Filth one. This was another iron-on patch. I made some of these too, I think, on this one. I got an iron-on transfer kit, and then I used it with some t-shirt fabric and some prints. I can make a video on how to do that, or I think there's other videos on YouTube where you can watch how to make your own patches with an iron-on transfer kit. And then this was another iron-on patch and some more studs that I added onto it. And then just a couple more patches. And then on the back here, oh, actually no, I forgot about these sleeves. So I made a Death Star shirt a long time ago, but it got kind of screwed up. But I painted these, like I freehand painted these logos onto the shirt, and I was so proud of them that I wanted to cut them and put them on something else. So I have one on this side. Oh, and that's it. And then I made a London After Midnight patch, which I did by making a stencil and then fabric painting the stencil onto some cotton fabric. And then on the side of the sleeve, I sewed on some studs. And then on the back here, this was a freehand painted Dawn of Ashes logo, which I was very proud of. I don't know how I managed to freehand that one. That was a very difficult task, but I somehow did it. Onto some random fabric, which I cut out and then sewed on the back here. And then this is this material here that you see up here. Yeah, I sewed this on. It's some kind of embellishment. I thought it just made it look more interesting on the back. And I did that on both sides. So yeah, that is my band jackets and vest. I hope you got some ideas for how to make your own. You can customize it however you want. You can do different things that I didn't do. And then next I want to talk about DIY accessories. You can do some things like this. So this is a belt that I found at a thrift store. It's one of those waist cincher belts, and it was just plain black when I found it. So I sewed on all of these studs, and then I sewed a spider charm in the middle, and it goes around your waist like this. So yeah, I mean, if you find a plain belt like this, you easily could decorate it. And then that's the only belt I've ever DIY'd. So I'm going to move on to jewelry. I have a whole bunch of chokers. They're really easy to make, and there's different things you can do with them. So for me, I like to use ribbon and sew things onto it. I just measured this to fit around my neck, and then I cut it, and then I sewed all of these studs on. I kind of measured like how far in between to space them out. And then on the bottom here, I made sure it was right in the center.